watch me shine. I'm unstoppable, feel it in my soul. Good vibes only, I'm in control. Turn the music up, let the rhythm roll. I move my body, I'm alive, I glow. Unstoppable, dancing through the fire. Every step higher, taking me higher. Smile so big, can't hold it in. Good vibes, good life, let's begin. Every scar made me wiser. Every tear lit the fire. I don't fear what's ahead.
And I am live, everybody. Hello. Happy, amazing Wednesday. Happy hump day, actually, everybody. This is Arneth. I am the face between this personal page, business page, and my YouTube page. Hello, hello, hello. Oh my God, I have a glare on my glasses here. Yes, this is my kind of like support using every time I see uh every time I use a computer or my cell phone, but it seems like it's just so much glare over here. But anyway, how are you guys doing? This is my fifth day. Let me see my my note over here because we've been doing this go live challenge, 30 days go live challenge with my team and other business partners that whom I've shared this PDF, right? Because again, the reason behind this is to really help my business partner to duplication. You know, I am doing some duplication, and this is designed to build the confidence, consistency, and visibility in every leader on our team. So we're not the only voice carrying the business, but we are here to really inspire you, to connect with you, and to share our vulnerability, because you never know, my story, their story can potentially change your life as well. That whatever we've been doing in the virtual world can also help you in the offline world, right? So again, thank you so much for tuning in with me, and this is my day 5 of doing this go live challenge. And the topic for today that I created is all about the strategic vulnerability. And what about it? This is all about me sharing you the hardest part nobody sees. And this, I will be sharing the thing, the human part, the lesson, the takeaway, and also by being here, by being the normal me. All right. I will correct that. I will stop doing the normal thing that other people do, but I will do the real me of the things that I want to do in my life, the person that I am becoming. All right, because the normal thing is I am following what the masses are doing, but the weird me is the one that I am doing what I want to do, not following what the masses are doing. So again, I am being here to really share you guys the hardest part nobody sees, and my question with you guys is, have you ever looked at somebody online and thought, wow, she has it all together, right? Her business looks good, she's smiling, she's traveling, she's spending time with her family, she posting her wins online or sharing her wins offline. Maybe you see the recognition as well, the payments, the business partners, the trips, the celebrations that I have been posting online. But here's something I've learned, guys. You can see somebody's result without ever seeing what it looked for them to get there. I mean, what it took for them to get there. Sometimes we are seeing the physical dreamer to dreamer, because I think sometimes social media makes us believe everybody else is winning while we're the only one is struggling, right? And that's simply not true. Behind behind almost every success, or I would say behind almost every success people story is a chapter that wasn't posted. There are prayers nobody heard. There are tears nobody saw. There are moments of doubt nobody knew about. There are times you wanted to quit, and there are moments when you ask yourself, am I really capable of doing that? Or am I really willing of capable of doing this? And that's what I want to talk about tonight or today or this morning, wherever you're watching. The hardest part nobody sees. Not because I want sympathy from all of you. Not it's not about it. Not because I want to complain. It's not about that, but because maybe someone listening to me right now needs to understand something. The difficult chapter doesn't necessarily mean you're only or on the wrong path, right? Sometimes it's simply part of becoming the person capable of carrying the next chapter. And I'm going to share some things from my own experience today, from my own journey today, but I'm also going to share what those experiences taught me, right? Because there's a big difference between simply telling your pain and using your experience to help somebody else, right? So I'll be talking about that thing, let me take you back. But again, while we are doing live, for those of you that doesn't know me, my name is Arnett. I am the face behind these pages, right? Business page, personal page, and YouTube page. I am a mom. I'm from originally from the Philippines, located here in San Francisco, California, and I have been running a business, a digital business, for 6 years right now. So, what is the thing, right? And that's something that I really want to share it with you guys tonight. Let me take you back. Yeah, before I even started this business, I already had a career. I am a career woman. you know I've been working my butt off, and I love working. I love being a leader. I love learning at work. I love mentoring people at work too, because I am in a leadership role. Let me remove this one. It's just like so much clear. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I spent many years working in banking, and that's almost 21 years right now. I work hard and I'm grateful for the career because it taught me so much about leadership, about discipline. What are those discipline? Oh my God, I don't want to be late. If I go to work, I will be the first person to be there and I will be the last person to leave. That is, and I just don't like being late. That's not my cup of tea. I've always wanted to be on time, punctual all the time. That is something that I ingrain. That's the discipline that I build in my mind that once I want to go to work, I always wanted to be on time. I will wanted to be the first person to at work. I can wait at the parking lot just for me to open the bank, right? But I don't like being late as well, especially if there's the traffic. I wanted to leave home at least like 1 hour, you know, more, just to keep that balance, right? Because you don't know, I'm driving going to work every single day, and I really don't know how the traffic looks like. And that's a discipline that I build for myself along the years. Yeah. And the responsibility, working with different kinds of people, solving problems, and showing up even you don't, even though, even I don't feel like showing up, but becoming a mother changed how I look at success, because suddenly success wasn't only about a paycheck. It wasn't all about a title. It wasn't all about being a good manager or being good at my job, right? I started thinking about something completely different, and that is time. you know, time with my children, time with my family, time spending time with myself, most especially, and time that I knew I could never get back, right? And there was, guys, there was a season in my life when I was holding my little baby and going through one of the hardest emotional periods of my life, which I deal with a very bad postpartum depression. From the outside, somebody might have looked at me and thought, oh, she had a career, she is successful, she has family, she should be very happy. But people don't always see what's happening inside of me, inside of you. You know, people don't see what is happening behind the scene, despite all those lovely smiles that is showing in front of you, right? And I remember praying. I remember asking God for a direction. I wasn't necessarily asking for some giant business, so and so. I wasn't saying, God, make me an entrepreneur. No, I wanted. I wanted another way. I wanted to be able to contribute financially while also having more control over my time, and I wanted to be there for my children too. And eventually I came across the online business, and that happens during the pandemic time. That was March of 2020, when I realized, like, oh my gosh, there's so many laying off of people nowadays because of the pandemic. And that was during the peak season of pandemic, and that was March, when the world just shut down and went to panic mode, right? And all of a sudden people closed their doors, closed their business because of the effect of the pandemic. And then I was one of them. Because the thing is, I only have 1 month more to go back to the office, and then later on I heard the news that you cannot come back to work. I don't know what is that mean if my job is secured. Like that's why nowadays, like, everything is temporary now. That's why eventually I prayed, and all of a sudden I came across this online business opportunity. But here's the part people sometimes leave out. I I didn't immediately say, yes, this is it. No, I had questions, I had doubts, I was very, very skeptical. I had spent years in banking and fraud. So imagine me, I'm looking at an online business opportunity thinking, okay, what's the catch? Everything that we see online, whether that kind of like very tantalizing, on the outside by seeing it in front of us, right? But like, wow, this must be it, right? Is this too good to be true? Of course, that is so normal to become skeptical because we're just trying to protect ourselves. But you know what I did? I did my due diligence. I still did my job because I'm stepping into the unknown, that I don't have any idea what's happening behind the scene, despite of that picture or that video that I saw on social media. I still have that reserved attitude, right? And I did my due diligence. I want to understand what I was looking at. And eventually I made a decision, not because I knew what I'm doing. No, I don't have any idea what's happening, how to run a business online. No idea. I'm a career woman, and that's pretty much it. I do farming, because I grew up in the farm most of my time. I came from a very humble family, and I know exactly what hard work means. And yeah, so not because I knew everything. No, that's not the case. Not because I had zero fear. I have fear, of course, because I'm putting myself on social media as well. Not because I suddenly become an expert. No, not at all. I could spend another year wondering whether something could work, or I could start learning. But guess what? I started anyway. Despite all those doubts that is playing at the back of my mind. Because if I let those doubts in control of me, I would never be in a position that I am right now. So that is the thing that I really want to share it with you guys. And then let's move to the human part of my story, you know. Now this is the part nobody likes to put in the highlight reel when it comes to social media, okay? Starting something doesn't mean magically make your problems disappear. That's not how it is. Building a business doesn't mean every month is amazing. It doesn't mean every ad, you know, like most of my business partners that I have right now, they saw my ad on social media. It doesn't mean every ad works. It doesn't mean everybody you talk to you joins you, you know. It doesn't mean everybody understand what you're doing, right? And it doesn't mean you never question yourself. I've had wins, of course, absolutely. I've had moments where I thought, wow, thank you, Lord, right? But I've also experienced disappointment in my life. I've had people to tell me no. I've had people to to say you are a scammer, right? I've had things that didn't work as well. I've spent money testing things, you know, because in the business you have to really think differently and use your talents to do something different, like you know, like personal development. I have to invest in my personal development because I really want to expand the level of awareness that I have, or I want to learn new things that I never learned in the past. And of course, in the business world, I had refunds too. People doesn't believe the business at first, but they let their doubts and their skepticism in control of them, and they end up not doing the business as well. That's why they refund, right? I've had moments where something I thought was going to work didn't work at all, right? But that is the best part. If your intuition is telling you to try this and it didn't work, I'm glad I did it anyway because I learned something different. I'm something new. And I had moments there where I look at my results and thought, what am I doing wrong? You know, I even question myself. And that's entrepreneurship. That's normal to become a business owner. That's normal to own a business as well, whether you're running it traditionally or you're running it online, right? People love showing the harvest, right? But very people show you the planting season. They show you the fruit. They don't show you how they water their seeds, watering the soil when nothing is growing yet. They show you the payment notification, yes, because that's who we are. Oh my God, that's who we are. People wanted to see the result without even seeing how these people is started from the beginning, you know. And then for me as a person, like I want to know the behind the scene. How did you get there, right? People love shortcuts, but for me, I want to know from point A to point B to point Z, because that's where the learning process uh, comes to play. That's how you will know the in and outs of the business that you're trying to do, right? They don't show the weeks of conversations after conversations with the client before they step into the world of entrepreneurship. They show you somebody joining their business. They don't show you the people who said no. They show you the successful ad that they did, but they don't show you the ads they had to test first. They show you confidence, but they don't show you the moment they sat there wondering, can I really do this? That's the human part. And if you're building something right now, I really want you to understand this. Stop comparing yourself to people. Stop comparing your behind the scenes to somebody else highlight reel. You don't know their whole story. They don't know they don't know yours, you know. So again, like for me, I've learned the hard way, because when I started the business I want the result right away. And then for me, like, wow, there's no such thing as an overnight success. You know, if I plant a an apple tree, I have to plant the seed in a fertile soil, and I have to give some love and light and smile and water it, weed it, fertilize it, right? And then talk to that plant every single day. And then once you do that, you have to take good care of it mostly every single day until you harvest the result. It's not like you plant the seed at the moment you will harvest the result yesterday. No, there's always a there's always a period of waiting, and that's where you build patience. That's where you build confidence enough to show up every single day and take good care of your business, right? Like for me, like at first, like I don't know how to do go live because I never use computers. Most of Yes, I do use computers at work, but I never run a business online. So I had to learn from zero, and until now I am still learning. I'm still a student. I really thought that I know everything in the beginning, but but I realized like I don't know nothing. All the things that I've learned in the past that I really thought that I can use that as an implementation towards my personal growth. But no, I have to unlearn everything because I always compare my experience now to entrepreneurship from corporate thought to a business thought. No, it works different way, from employee mindset to a entrepreneur mindset. It works different way. That's why sometimes I have to unlearn and relearn, and to adjust myself into that entrepreneurial thought, right? So yeah, so that's something that I really want to share you guys about the human part. And now when business and life happen at the same time, what should I do? There's another thing that this is another thing that nobody really prepares you for. You don't build business um in a laboratory. Life doesn't say, oh, should uh, I would say, like, let me rewind that part. Oh, she's building a business now. Everybody leave her alone, right? No, that life doesn't work that way. Life keeps happening. Your kids still need you. Your spouse still needs you. Your parents may need you. And there are birthdays, there's schools, just like tomorrow I'll be attending this school night, right, with my kids, right? Because it's the first week of their school this week, and parents are invited to go to school. That's the school night for parents to learn or to teach us or to guide us what's the next protocols or what's the next things that the kids needs to do in the next few months or for the entire years, right? So again, there's always be an appointments, there's always be groceries, bills, right? Laundry, family emergencies, unexpected expenses. It's not something that you just see online and like, oh my god, this person is successful now, what is she doing now? I still do what mothers do, I still go to the groceries and buy some groceries. There's family emergencies, there's unexpected expenses too, and sometimes you're trying to build your dream while simultaneously handling real life, right? That's why I stopped believing that successful people have perfect circumstances. No, they don't. They simply learn how to keep moving through imperfect circumstances. Sometimes your inspired actions for the day might be huge. Other days might be one phone call. Other days maybe quiet, one follow up, one post, one conversation, one video to someone, or maybe an hour of focus work, right? But you keep moving. And this is something I want to inform those hardworking moms or hardworking parents or leaders or dreamers like me need to listen. Don't underestimate small. consistent action. We sometimes think success has to look dramatic, and that's not the case. Sometimes success looks like putting your kids to bed and then spending 30 minutes of focus learning something new, right? Sometimes success looks like waking up before everyone else so you can have quiet time for yourself. Sometimes success looks like admitting, I don't know how to do this yet, right? The word matters. Yet, I don't know how to do this yet. I haven't figured these things yet, right? I'm not confident enough to show my face. Probably making videos, right? I haven't reached my goal yet because when you add the word yet, you leave that room for growth, right? And and again, guys, one of the biggest reasons I wanted something different was my children. And I think working moms, working parents understand this feeling. You love providing for your family, but sometimes providing for them means being away from them. And that's the sacrifice that we're willing to pay, right? And that creates this strange conflict too. You're working because you love them, but sometimes you feel guilty because you're working, right? And then when you're home, sometimes your mind is still at work. Have you ever experienced that? Right? Your body is sitting with your family, but your mind is somewhere else. Think about tomorrow, thinking about work, thinking about bills, right? Thinking about everything you need to do. That thought, oh my God, you have no idea that that taught me something very important. Being a parent isn't about being physically home. Presence is mental. Presence is emotional. You know, presence is being able to look at your child's eye when they're talking and actually hear them. And that's one reason my definition of success changed. I still believe in ambition, yes. I still believe in goals. I still believe women should build wealth. I still believe in working hard, but I don't want success that requires me to sacrifice everything I was trying to succeed for. I want to build something around my family, not build a life where my family only gets whatever time is left over. That's a huge difference. And the lesson that I learned from this, you know, what did the hardest season teach me? One thing that I really want to share it with you guys is your emotions are real, but they shouldn't always make your decisions. There were days I didn't feel confident. What did I do? I acted anyway. Days I felt disappointed. What did I do? I learned anyway. Days something that I really don't want to do the work, you know. I don't want to do anything. What did you do? I adjusted. That's why I love the distinction between reacting and responding. Reacting says, this didn't work, I'm done, right? But when you respond, this didn't work, what can I learn, right? Reacting says, nobody responded to my post, I'm terrible at this. But once you respond gracefully, okay, maybe my message needs improvement, right? So you have to really do an adjustment. And maybe my ad failed. Online business doesn't work for me. And when you respond in a different thinking, let's look at that data and figure out what happened. That's growth, right? The problem isn't experiencing emotions. We're human. We have to feel that way. But the goal is learning not to hand every emotion the steering wheel. Don't let your emotion steal the wheel. Don't let your emotion in control of what you are becoming, right? So, and again, and this brings me to faith that there have been times when I prayed and didn't immediately see the answer. I think sometimes we expect prayer to work like an I would say like an Amazon Prime, right? If you're an Amazon fan, like okay, there's a 1 day delivery, like but you have to subscribe an Amazon Prime. No, prayers doesn't work that way. Prayers doesn't work like an Amazon Prime. And Lord, I ordered this yesterday. Where is it? Right? No, it doesn't work that way. But some of the biggest transformation that happened in my life while I'm waiting is I was asking God to change the situation, right? Sometimes God is changing you because He wants to build your patience, He wants to build your discipline, He wants to build your character, your faith, and your ability to handle uncertainty and your willingness to keep going. And I've learned that sometimes what looks like a delay is actually a preparation. That doesn't mean everything automatically works out exactly the way we want. Faith doesn't mean pretending challenges doesn't exist. For me, faith means I can acknowledge what's happening without allowing it to determine what I believe is possible. So now I can say, this is hard, and I believe there's still another chapter. Both can be true. You know what I mean? Why I don't share everything in social media, right? There's something else important about vulnerability. You don't have to share everything online to be authentic. Privacy isn't dishonesty. Some things are scared, some things belong to my family, or to your family. Some things need healing before they need an audience, right? And that's why I love this question. If this video got 1 million views, would I still feel okay that I shared this? That's my filter, you know, because sometimes we're tempted to share something while we're still emotional. But once it's online, you can't control where it goes. So I want to share from wisdom, okay? Not from emotional reaction. I want to share the scar when possible, not live stream everyone, right? Because again, the purpose isn't look how much I've suffered, but the purpose behind is here's what I went through, here's what I learned, and maybe the lesson can help you too. That's the strategic way of becoming vulnerable, right? So my takeaway for the hardest part nobody sees that I just talked tonight is so let me bring this back to you. Maybe you're watching this and you're in your own hardest part nobody sees, right? Maybe it's your career. Maybe it's your business. Maybe probably you're questioning your direction. Maybe something you were sure wouldn't work isn't working, right? Maybe you're maybe you're watching everybody else moving forward and wondering why you're moving so slowly, and here's what I want you to remember. A a difficult season is not your identity. It's a chapter. So don't make a permanent decision based on a temporary defeat or maybe a temporary emotion. Ask yourself this. What is this season teaching me? Maybe it's teaching you patience. Maybe it's discipline. Maybe you need those boundaries. Maybe you need faith, right? Maybe you need to build that communication. Maybe a financial responsibility as well. Maybe you have to build that courage to show up every single day and share your story to the world. Maybe it's showing you something you need to change as well. Because sometimes growth isn't about doing more. Sometimes growth requires becoming different. And that's exactly what happened to me before. 6 years ago, I don't even recognize myself because 6 years ago, I am that big complainer. I am that person who is so insecure, who hated myself. 6 years ago, I always compare myself to other people. But now, oh my God, I love myself, you know? I love learning. I clap those people who are winning because you never know that there was a season in their life that they are in the season where I was 6 years ago, right? That's the reason why sometimes you just don't look the one that you see in reality. For me, you have to learn what their experience was, what was their breakthrough, how they become successful, you know. It's not like you see the result right away and you're already comparing yourself to them, right? So again, that was the biggest takeaway. And if there's one thing I really want you guys to remember from this conversation tonight, it's this: don't judge your future by the hardest chapter to your present. Always remember that. There are things I have today that an earlier version of me desperately wanted. And there are still things I'm working towards. I'm not finished. I am still learning. I'm still a student, right? I'm still growing every single day. I'm still becoming, and that's okay. You don't need to have everything figured out before you move forward. You just need enough courage for the next step. Maybe your next step probably is starting. Maybe it's trying again. Maybe it's asking for help. Maybe it's changing your strategy. Maybe it's you need rest, right? You need a pause to get out from the chaotic world, right? And be who you are, right? Be that version of you that people never seen online, right? Maybe you need praying, right? Maybe it's finally believing that the dream God places in your heart deserves your attention. Whatever it is, take the next step. Not all 100 steps, just the next one. Okay? Because the hardest part nobody sees may someday become the exact story someone else needs to hear. So don't be ashamed of your becoming. Don't compare your, I hear this all the time. Don't compare your chapter 3 to someone else, chapter 20. Keep planting seeds, keep learning, keep believing in you, keep taking inspired actions every single day. And most importantly, keep becoming the person capable of carrying the life you've been praying for. Because your story isn't over. Maybe you're simply in the chapter that nobody sees yet. And one day, guys, you may look back and say, wow, now I understand why I had to go through that experience. I had to go through that challenges. I had to go through that struggles because it's teaching me something, right? And again, this is something that I really want to share it with you guys tonight. And thank you for spending this time with me. And if you're in a difficult season right now, I really want you to know or to leave you with one question. What if this isn't the chapter where you quit? What if this is the chapter where you become? You know, your your life can, I mean, what whatever experience or challenges that you are experiencing right now, I would not say as a breakdown. Maybe, and maybe this probably the breakthrough for you, because that struggles or that challenges that you are facing uh, at the moment could be an eye opener for you, or could be it's telling you something to lean more on what is and focus more on the solution and not really focusing on the problems that you are currently experiencing. Because sometimes once we have problems in our life, we just go deep dive into the problem and not really looking forward or not asking help, and go deep dive into finding solutions with that, right? So again, I hope you learn something from me today. So again, just to summarize is, yeah, whenever you feel like you're getting off topic, right? Like, think about the formula, the thing, what happened, right, in your life, the human part, how did it in genuinely affect you? And the lesson, yeah, that's the lesson. What did this teaches me? And the takeaway, how can this help me to listen more to other, to a feedback, but most especially from within you, because everything is within you. Any problems that you're facing currently, the answer is within you. All right, so that's it for me, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in with me for more than 41 minutes tonight, and I'll be back again here tomorrow for my day 6 of this Go Live challenge that I have been doing with my team. And tomorrow I will be sharing a tag bait, a shareable tag bait. And, you know, you will know the topic tomorrow, but it's all about the tag bait. So that's it, everybody. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. And have a wonderful night. Thank you so much. And good night.
This is my moment, watch me shine. I'm unstoppable.